Congratulations once again to the Oklahoma City Thunder on winning the 2025 NBA Finals. And they're your new champions. Alex Caruso is officially a two-time champion, winning with the Lakers in 2020 and winning with the Thunder in 2025 this year. OKC has just won their first ever championship in the state of Oklahoma, their second franchise championship. Now they have two franchise championships, well, two from two different cities, two states, two different states. So that's very impressive because not every franchise is able to pull that off when they rebrand, move cities, or move to a new state. Or they do pull it off and it just takes them a bit while to get there. Obviously, OKC has been in the finals a few times since making the move in 2012, and this year getting there. Been the first seed a few times, back-to-back years as the first seed. They end up winning the championship this year. And your goal is the first seed with 68 wins. You're supposed to win the championship. So I know people will try to discredit it for this reason or the other, but they did what they were supposed to do in winning the championship. Now let me speak on Halliburton before I dive too deep into the video. Tyrese Halliburton, you you have respect from me. Now that maybe who knows how much that means. He probably won't even see this video. But he has respect from me as a player. But I think it was the wrong decision after game 2 or game 3. Whenever he initially got hurt, I think he shouldn't have played after that. It doesn't make you soft. It doesn't make you weak to prioritize your health. It's called being smart. And I'm not saying that he's dumb, because that's not what I think he is. I think he just a guy that has heart and wanted to be out there for his team, which that's great. But I think your health is more important than these media narratives. I just think he got caught up in the narratives, and he probably didn't want to feel away and be targeted by the media, wanted the picture to be painted of him being soft, being fragile, not being able to play. But you playing just hurt you even more, because then it's the biggest game of your career and you go out with an injury, and then you're on crutches after that. And I'm not saying that to insult him, but he should have just not played after that game to when he was injured, because people gonna try to people discredit every ring in history. So for OKC, they'll be fine. People try to discredit every ring in history. But if Halliburton sits out and prioritizes his health and gets the surgery right away, gets the treatment he needs done, like, we might not be talking about this. Like, I would have even more respect for Halliburton if he did that, because obviously I know the media and narratives and the fans, and they can get to him sometimes, but the athletes can't let that get to him. Like, Isaiah Thomas playing with a nearly broken ankle in 1989 was not smart, and it's not something we should encourage players to do. You should not be playing on an injury. You need to get healthy so you can be ready. You need to be as healthy as you can be. And shortening the season is not the solution, because we've seen players get injured opening night, opening week. And so people gonna get injured regardless of how long the season is. People get injured in the playoffs when they have plenty of time off. People get injured at the end of the day. So shortening the season, that's not gonna stop injuries from happening. And it probably won't even make them less frequent. Like, there's no science behind this. We don't know all that. But this has been the method since the 60s, if I'm not mistaken. So the NBA not changing the games anytime soon. But this was a fun series. I will say this. It was definitely a few close games. It was definitely some blowouts. But I did enjoy this series because we got the game one. We got the Halliburton game winner. We got the game where J-Dub had 40. In the game following that, we had the crazy Siakam poster on J-Dub. You had multiple 30-point games from Shea. He only had 29 in this game last night. But Shea had a really great showing in his first ever finals. So he had the most points, or he was up there for some of the most points throughout the first two games of a finals for a superstar, for an MVP candidate. But this game too, also shout out to Caruso, such a good defender. I was upset when the Lakers let him go, because I've always been a fan of Caruso. I always enjoyed watching him play. So but I'm happy to see him get another ring, and just great energy, great defense. And shout out Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams, Jay Will that comes off the bench, not J-Dub who starts, but Jalen Williams, Jay Will who comes off the bench, because both of those guys went to Arkansas. They went to the College of Arkansas, and I'm from the state of Arkansas, so I'm a support. Like last year with the Celtics won, I was rooting for them because Jordan Walsh had a chance to get a ring, and he was able to get that. So, yeah, shout out to Jordan Walsh. But yeah, shout out to the Arkansas guys in the league representing the state very well right now. Yeah, happy to see them get rings. But to talk about this game, I mean, When Nimhard got started with that, he made a mid-range shot. I was like, damn, this probably gonna be the Nimhard game, but he didn't really do too much. And then Mathurin, he came in early. Obviously, Halliburton went out in the first quarter, so required more out of more people. You had OKC went small with J-Dub, which I found interesting. And I think if Isaiah Hartenstein starts one of those first two games, they probably win this series. No, if he starts game one, I think they win this series in 6 games. Because I don't think it should have won 7. I think OKC should have won this in about 6. But Rick Carlisle is a great coach, and he proved that, making great adjustments. And the players definitely had to step up. You got Aaron Nesmith, Nimhard, they all did their thing. Miles Turner was pretty disappointing throughout the series and had another disappointing game and was not able to step up when they needed him most. OKC would end up winning this game 103-91, but the turning point in the game was actually in the third quarter because Indy had a 48-47 lead at halftime despite Halliburton being out because J-Dub and Chet only had 5 points at halftime. Now, Cason Wallace had up to 3 steals, but Shea wasn't getting any help. But then in the third quarter, he had his own run of his own. I mean, OKC went on a 9-0 run. Then T.J. McConnell, he had his own run of like 8 straight points. But the Pacers offense wasn't getting nothing from anybody else. Like Mathurin, Pascal, when they wasn't doing nothing when that run happened. So then OKC went up 81-68, and they had 8 turnovers. They forced 8 turnovers. OKC did in the third quarter, and they scored 16 points off of those turnovers. So for every turnover, they scored a layup, essentially. And then if you remember in game 1, they forced a lot of turnovers, but they only averaged 0.45 points off those turnovers. So the same mistake. So they would correct the mistake they had in game 1 and game 7 by actually capitalizing off of the turnovers and getting a layup for every turnover that they forced. So that was the turning point in the game and why they were able to go up double digits. And then once they went up 20, it put Indiana out of the game, especially without having Halliburton, who's your closer. And OKC will go on to win 103-91. And like I said, as the first seed, you're supposed to win a championship. This OKC team was disappointing last year as the first seed because to most people, I did think the Mavs would win. I predicted this. This is not cap. You can check my Instagram. But I have proof of predicting the Mavs to make the finals last year. But people were very disappointed with OKC being the 1 seed because they thought they should get further. And then they got Alex Caruso, Isaiah Hartenstein in the offseason, or the 1 seed again, and people still doubted them. And I was telling people that their experience, they have that now. They lost in the play-in 2 years ago. They lost in the playoffs in the second round to Luka, who was better than Shea at the time. And then you got more experience from J-Dub and Chet now. Obviously, Chet was technically in his rookie year last year as he missed his first technical season due to being out for the season when he somehow got injured in a Drew League game. So Chet still needs to put on some more muscle. But I'm not taking away anything from any championship because all championships are won differently. Injuries happen every year. It's a part of the game. But as far as Indiana goes, the fact they got this far surprised a lot of people. Like I knew this was a playoff team, but getting to the finals, I didn't expect that. They went to the conference finals back-to-back years. That's very impressive. Pascal in the final game had 16 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal and a block on 5 of 13 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 4 of 7 from the free throw line. His free throw shooting was pretty bad in this series. Like, it should have been better than what it was. And then only 13 shots. I would have liked to see him took like 2 more, take 15. Like, that's not nothing super crazy. He was pretty efficient, but when Tyrese went out, I felt like he should have took some more shots. Obviously, if Tyrese is there, then 15, like somewhere between 13 and 15 is acceptable. But with Tyrese being out, I feel like, actually take back what I said. I think he should have been up to at least 18 shots. He don't even have to get to 20, but at least attempt 18 if he's able to. Obviously, he got out of hand down the stretch. He ended up losing by 12. But I would have liked to see Pascal take more shots with him having championship DNA and championship experience. He had a good series overall, and he would have won Finals MVP if they did win. But I would have liked to see some more out of Pascal Siakam. Benedict Mathurin had a 24-point, 13 rebound, 3 assists, 2 steal game on 6 of 14 from the field, 2 of 5 from the 3-point line, 10 of 10 from the free throw line. A shout out to Ben Mathurin because I've been super critical of him, and I still am. This was a solid game. It was still some bonehead plays and decisions that he made throughout the game. And it just shows the inconsistency of him and why he'll never be a starter on a team, at least not from what I've seen. Like, I don't see a world where he's a starter on a team with the way that he plays, because he's just too inconsistent. And inconsistent people do start, but I don't see that out of him at this point. I don't see that out of Benedict Mathurin, because it's like when you're on a championship team, it's, oh, you'll get him 27 one game and look phenomenal, and then the game you have 24 and 13, you would think, oh, that's great, he's getting to the line, he's doing this and that, but he's still not doing much. It's like he had a double-double, so shout out to him, but even that double-double didn't really feel impactful. It didn't feel like he was doing much. And maybe that's because a lot of his buckets came when they were already trailing, so he's trying to get them back into it. But TJ McConnell, his 16, 6 rebound, 3 assist effort on 8 of 13 from the field with 1 steal and 1 block, being the most efficient player on the team, like, that was more impactful than either Mathurin or Pascal, and he didn't even get to the line once. So TJ McConnell did his thing. I mean, that segment he had with his dad was really good. Like, I enjoyed that little thing they did after Game 6 when his dad talking about him and his daughter. Like, man, I'm pretty sure his daughter's on the Phoenix Mercury. TJ McConnell's sister. I'm pretty sure she's on the Phoenix Mercury. I could be wrong. Correct me if I am. But maybe she'll be the one that gets a ring this year. We'll see. And Chet finally had a good game this series. Like, we've been waiting forever for this. 18 points, 8 rebounds, 5 blocks, 6 8 from the field, 1 2 from 3, 5 8 from the line. Like, you have to take a lot of shots to get to 18 points. Because, look, you're 7'1". You're the tallest dude in Oklahoma, tallest dude on the floor. So you don't even have to get a double-double. 8 rebounds, that's still good for a big man, especially with 5 blocks. Because even the rebounds mean you're closing out the possessions, and then you're blocking shots, which just means you're stopping the other team from scoring. And then, obviously, the 5-8 from the free throw line, you want that to be at either 6 or 8 or 7 of 8. Obviously, you want your players to make all of their free throws, but that's not realistic for most, because even Shea missed a free throw tonight. So you want that at 6 out of 8 to be at 75%. But shout out to Chet for having a good game. JL, he had a slow start, but he picked it up in the second half. He ended up finishing the game with 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. Shot 7 of 20 from the field. Did go 2 of 7 from 3, which was bad, and went 4 of 6 from the line. But he was very impactful, like I said, especially stepping up in the second half and dropping 15 points. Then Shea finishing with 29 points, 5 rebounds, 12 assists, a steal, and a block, and winning Finals MVP as he should have. Obviously, the splits were not his best, probably his worst of the series, on 8 of 27 from the field, 2 of 12 from 3, 11 of 12 from the free throw line. Like, at the end of the day, free throws are points. I don't know why we try to discredit that as if they aren't. But this was a really great game. This was a good game from SGA. Wouldn't say great, but he did a good job playmaking. Like, those aren't just, oh, I lucked up on 12 assists. I know he did a good job playmaking. That he has become the improved playmaker over the years. And I feel like he's still underrated when it comes to playmaking. But this was a fun series. OKC won. They did what they were supposed to as the first seed, and they won the championship. So congratulations once again to OKC. Prayers up to Tyrese Halliburton. And with that being said, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, a comment, and share. Let me know what y'all thought of the finals. Did y'all enjoy it? Did y'all not? And who are y'all rooting for?